I grew up in northern Minnesota, where Christmas always looked like a postcard, waist-deep snow, frozen lakes, and pine trees heavy with icicles. But in 2014, something happened on Christmas Eve that changed the way I see winter forever. I had just gotten my license, and for the first time, my parents let me drive alone to pick up a last-minute gift for my mom from the local mall. The sun set early, around 4:45 p.m., and the temperature dropped to -20 degrees Fahrenheit. The kind of cold that hurts your teeth when you breathe. The roads were nearly empty as I drove home. Snow was falling gently, that peaceful, silent kind, when I noticed a man walking along the shoulder. He wore a heavy black coat and a bright red scarf wrapped around his neck several times. He wasn't hurrying, just moving with a slow, steady pace, like he had all the time in the world. I would have kept driving, but as I passed him, he looked directly at me. Not just at the car, into my eyes. Like he'd been waiting for me. I kept going for a few seconds, heart racing, before guilt kicked in. Maybe he needed help. Maybe he was freezing. So I turned the car around. Except, he wasn't there. I drove slowly, headlights sweeping the snow-covered ditch, scanning for footprints or a figure. The road was empty. And the untouched snow showed no tracks at all. Confused, I drove home. I tried to shrug it off. But that night, around 11:30 p.m., our dog, Baxter, started growling at the front window. Not barking, growling, low and deep. His hackles were up. Probably a deer, my dad said. But something told me to look. I pulled the curtain back. And my heart stopped. A man in a black coat and a red scarf was standing at the edge of our driveway. Just standing there. Perfectly still. Snow falling around him like he didn't even feel it. I yelled for my dad, but when he came over, the man was gone. Christmas morning came, and things felt normal again, until I went outside to throw away some gift wrapping. In the snow, right in front of our bay window, were footprints. Deep ones. Leading from the street straight up to the window. But none leading away. Like he had walked to our house. And then vanished. The last time I saw him was a week later. I was walking Baxter at dusk, following the same road where I first saw the man. The dog suddenly froze and whimpered. I looked up. The man stood across the road, closer than ever, his red scarf blowing in the wind even though the air was still. He raised his hand, slowly, and pointed directly at me. I blinked. And he was gone. I don't know who he was, or what he wanted, but sometimes around Christmas, when the sky turns that deep blue right before nightfall, I swear I still see a flash of red in the snow. When I was 12, my family rented a small cabin in the mountains for Christmas. The place was cozy, fireplace, old wooden floors, and giant windows facing the forest. But the cabin had one problem. The attic door. It hung in the hallway ceiling, with one of those little pull-down strings. My mom said it was locked and told us not to mess with it. And I didn't, until the second night. Around 1 a.m., I woke up to what sounded like footsteps above me. Slow, dragging footsteps. The cabin was old, so I tried to tell myself it was just the wood settling. But then I heard another sound. A faint, rhythmic tapping. Like someone was knocking, from inside the attic. Tap. 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 I squeezed my eyes shut and waited for it to stop. Eventually, it did. The next morning, I told my parents. They brushed it off. Probably squirrels, my dad said. But that night, the tapping got louder. This time, I got out of bed and stepped into the hallway. The house was completely dark except for the glow from the Christmas tree downstairs. I stared up at the attic door. The string was swaying. Back and forth. Even though there was no draft. I whispered, "Hello." The tapping stopped. Silence. Then a slow creak, like someone shifting their weight just inches above me. I ran back to my room and hid under the blankets. On Christmas Eve, the cabin owners came by to drop off extra firewood. I overheard my mom casually mention the noises in the attic. The owner froze. His smile faded instantly. "That shouldn't be possible," he said quietly. Then he looked up at the attic door. He told us something that made my stomach twist. "Last winter, a man got lost out here in a storm. He was missing for days before they found him. He had climbed into the attic of a hunting cabin nearby to stay warm. But he didn't make it." My mom went pale. My dad asked, "Is this the cabin?" The owner didn't answer. That night, Christmas Eve, the tapping didn't come from the attic. It came from the hallway outside my bedroom door. 3 slow knocks. Then a whisper, right at the crack under the door. "Cold, so cold." I screamed. My dad burst out of his room, flipping on the lights. But the hallway was empty. The attic door, though. It was open. Just a crack. Not enough for anyone to climb through. Just enough to show the darkness inside. We left the cabin before sunrise. To this day, every Christmas Eve, I swear I hear faint tapping somewhere in the house, even after we moved states. Always 3 taps. Always at 1 a.m. Last year, a week before Christmas, a package appeared on my doorstep. No return address. No postage. Just a small box with my name written in perfect cursive. Inside was a Christmas ornament, glass, hand-painted, beautiful. A snowy village with tiny houses and a glowing moon. I assumed it was from my aunt, who loves sending handmade gifts. I hung it near the top of the tree. That night, around 2 a.m., I heard soft music playing downstairs. A music box melody, delicate and old-fashioned. I went down to find the lights on the Christmas tree glowing, brighter than usual. And the ornament was spinning slowly. I thought the heat from the lights was making it move, but something felt wrong. Off. I stepped closer and realized the painted scene on the ornament had changed. There was someone new in the village. A tiny figure standing by one of the houses. A man in a long coat. I didn't remember seeing him before. The next night, the music started again. I came downstairs, and the ornament was spinning faster. And the tiny man in the painting? He had moved closer to the foreground. Almost as if he was walking toward the inside of the glass. Over the next 2 nights, he kept getting closer. First in front of a house. Then in the middle of the painted street. Then inches from the edge of the ornament, face turned toward the viewer. On Christmas Eve, I woke to the sound of footsteps on the stairs, slow, dragging footsteps. The music box melody played again. My bedroom door creaked open. I grabbed my phone flashlight and pointed it toward the hall. No one. Just silence. When I finally worked up the courage to check the tree, the ornament was still spinning, but the tiny man in the painting was gone. Not faded. Not smudged. Gone. Inside the ornament was now just a snowy village, empty and quiet. That night, I dreamed of someone standing at the foot of my bed. A man. Long coat. Painted eyes. Pale face. He whispered, "Cold in there. Much warmer out here." I woke up gasping. The ornament was gone from the tree. I never found it. But sometimes, late at night around Christmas, I hear faint footsteps outside my door, and a soft music box melody drifting through the dark. And I know he's still looking for a way back in. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed these stories, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel more than you know. Stay safe, stay warm.